The Chinese sure got a few things right. 2020 is the year of the rat. We have been holed up in our homes. We go out only in search of food. We've been hoarding things up, and we stay away from people.
With all the madness going around us, it's only natural to understand why people decided to raid the grocery stores to get all the toilet paper from the racks. It's a shitstorm. You just get splashed every possible day. Not long ago, it got so bad that it was evident that it had been so full of crap that even in the debate, flies started to land in a big pile. Pretty fly for a white guy. Sorry, just couldn't help it. You know that those new markers on Facebook that marks you safe after a catastrophe? Well, I don't see Facebook creating 2020 as a disaster. I think there'll be one that you'll mark yourself safe on January 1st. With the world changing on a daily basis, I'll just paint the picture of where we are. Europe is flirting with a second or third wave of COVID cases, with tens of thousands of cases being reported per day in countries like Russia, France, the Czech Republic, Italy, and the UK. And the effects will probably evoke the early days of the pandemic. France, for example, may impose new lockdowns. Ireland has already banned indoor restaurant dining. Italy is expected to ban private parties, and Russia may start passing out vodka bottles to foster disinfection.
Of course, the last one was a joke, but in our world, it's plausible, right? Disinfecting here. Get his knees and sanitize y'all.
Speaking of plausible, look, here is the deal. It's amazing when you start seeing headlines. You would think that otherwise it would come from The Onion, like Russia, China, and Saudi Arabia will join the UN Human Rights Council, or Mexico asked Pope Francis to apologize for the church's role in the Spanish conquest, or Trump saying that he's a perfect physical specimen. But no, it's from The Guardian, or things that I actually just deem reliable. It's just insane. In our neck of the woods, things are no better. Well, maybe worse. Remember, we're typically a month or two behind Europe with getting hit, if history serves as a benchmark. However, the compounding factor now is that we're about to get hit with elections in about a month. And I won't get into politics. I'll keep those to me and out of sight. I like to fly. But I think that you know where I'm going with this. This said, here's my take on how things look right now and what it might mean to you. Builders continue to ascribe to the saying, build it and they shall come. Huge investments are made on land to develop next year, fueled by cheap money, with the expectation that next year will be another unexpected year. Demand for housing doesn't seem to let up. Housing starts at a crazy pace, with low interest rates creating cheap money to build, and sometimes finance their finished product. Sweet spots continue to be in the 300,000s, with some luxury deals slipping through the cracks. Surprise! There is one sector here that actually makes some of a comeback, and that's the office condo, which are defined as small 1,200 square foot vanilla offices with 3 private offices, a conference room, a bathroom, and a kitchen area. That was the furor when they first appeared in the market, but now with investors going dry and bleeding money, these units are being scooped up by users like this via low interest rates and tenants that are looking for a steal. Are there some? Oh yeah. Industrial continues to pick up steam, particularly in those that are rail served, as more commodities ramp up in their supply chain. Retail is still iffy, with major bankruptcies still being announced daily. Airlines are vulnerable these days, with bailout money just about dried up. Some of them are getting really creative though. Check this out. Flights to nowhere. I'm not making this up. You basically get on the plane, get a tour of the coastline or the island, in this, in the case where this came from, like Taiwan, Japan, or other parts of Asia, and come back to the same airport you got on. Who wouldn't want to fly in this Hello Kitty flight to nowhere that flew from Taiwan to Japan and back to Taiwan on Father's Day for $200? You went somewhere, kind of saw it, and then got back home without, going through customs. Brilliant. United, you need to get into this. I'd gladly pay $200 to get on a plane from Houston, go to Cuba, fly over it, and come back home to eat mofongo in my very own house. there and into restaurants. California Pizza Kitchen is the latest bankruptcy, and that kind of makes sense. When was the last time you actually ate there? Reality is that the voice of the customer hasn't been fully heard, although it's been pretty darn loud. People are yearning to be outside in immersive or unique experiences that make the drive to the place worthwhile. Haven't got that clear? And many outlets, unfortunately, haven't got that clear. The writing is literally on the wall, saying evolve or die. As I would tell my kids, what's the one thing that people are willing to and able to pay you for in this pandemic? Did you notice a trend? Interest rates and loans. Lots of them. It's our belief that it'll continue to be on the low end, but don't take it from me. We did venture out to interview an expert that knows lending pretty well. And we started the conversation with, what is the overall volume of residential loans out there right now? Fasten your seats, or stay strapped to yours if you don't want to fall on the floor.
The industry, the entire mortgage industry, is built to do about $3 trillion a year. And that's running at max capacity. $3 trillion across the entire US. That's all the banks added together, all the professionals available, everyone running at a fast speed, maybe $3.5 trillion. Currently, as we sit here today, there's $10 trillion worth of business.
More disinfectant.
Between purchases and refinances, right? And so what's happening now is you're starting to see all the third parties also getting bogged down. Appraisers are taking 2 to 3 weeks in Texas, which is unheard of. Title companies are taking 2 weeks to get title reports. That's all a reflection of how busy it is in the mortgage business. You're having loan officers not call realtors back because they're busy doing refinances. You're having deals get messed up by a lot of loan officers because they're just so busy doing refinances and they have so much business. Their teams aren't built to go look at the fine details that need to be looked at, right? And so when you look at it, it's kind of a scary market in that regards because we are having a lot of clients being referred to us because their deal's messed up. Or quite frankly, it's pre-approved and never should have been pre-approved because there's so much business coming in. They don't even have time to look at the deals. They're just sending out the letters, gathering the docs, sending them to underwriting and see what happens. So it's very important to make sure that if you're buying a house in this market, that you're getting the mortgage professional whatever they need, more so than ever. Because if you're gonna play a game of like, I'll give you half of my stuff, I don't really want to look at all of it, but here's some of it, it's a recipe for absolute disaster right now.
I feel dirty.
Here's the truth though. I think that we're all experiencing virus and politics fatigue at some point. I get it. However, it's important to understand that the cheese is moving where the cheese is moving to, and for that, we have our theme of the day.
We're almost a year into this, and we know right now that it's difficult to have meaningful and constructive conversations in this world that seems to be unfettered and feed off uncertainty with an abundance of misinformation, and yes, let's admit it, intolerance. Our world, and not just our country, just as Italy and Brazil, is super divided, and it's too painful to watch. And the worst is that nobody's doing our part to say enough, even at the individual level. Here's what's certain. Things will change. They're changing now. And if you want to be on the upside, you need to probably change yourself if you haven't done so already. Case in point. If you're watching this, I think that you're smarter than the general population. Hashtag not Gen Pop. And I trust that you can separate the BS from the facts. Hashtag just facts. But this is just a start. To give an example, just before you get into anything new, ask yourself the following 2 questions. What is the worst thing that could happen? And what is your exit strategy? The first question is designed to help you prepare for the worst while hoping for the best, right? The second is to have a concrete plan in case the worst does materialize, or even if it doesn't, in case you need it at all. Apply those techniques liberally. I won't charge you any royalties, I won't hunt you down. At any rate, having extra caution can help you avoid headaches, both now and when the new normal starts settling in. So there you have it. That's your episode for today. Enjoy the outdoors. Stay off Facebook. Go vote. See you soon.
Look, Here is the deal. Just having way too much fun with this.